Ole Miss on the road against Oklahoma, and I'll start here first, EMAC. To me, this is a really bad situation for Ole Miss. You just went on the road to Athens, played a extremely emotionally draining football game, a four-quarter heavyweight fight where you're getting knocked around, and obviously we saw Georgia run away with it in the fourth quarter, 17 points to 0 points. Kind of felt like Ole Miss faded away.
Right.
Defensively, they were gasping, they were out of breath, they were exhausted, they were waving the white flag, and then obviously offensively, they couldn't finish it either. It is hard for me to feel like you can go on the road into that mentally and physically taxing of a football game, come out with a loss, and then now have to go back on the road, hostile environment against another physical team, and feel like you're ready to go up to that challenge again. I just
Right.
feel like that is a tall task for Ole Miss to do that back-to-back weeks after what just happened in Athens.
Exactly. And basically, what you saw in the fourth quarter against Georgia's defense is what you're going to see the whole game in
Yeah.
Oklahoma's defense with the
Yeah.
aggressiveness, hitting you in the backfield. I mean, stunts, blitzes, exotic looks, coverage twists. I mean, all those different things that's coming, with this week. And it just felt like mentally, okay, Ole Miss is just boom, we're punching them in the face, boom, we're punching them, and we're hitting them, we're teeing off, and we're great. And then Georgia's still just standing there looking at you like, is that it? Because it's go time now, and it's our turn. And Ole Miss didn't want anything to do with that. And so, I think you're absolutely right. Physically and mentally, you're probably exhausted after that. Now you got to go do it again in Oklahoma at Norman in a place that that's going to be loud, that's going to be crazy, and everything that they still want to accomplish in front of them. So I'm right there with you, man. I think this defense for Oklahoma is too nasty, too aggressive, and I get Chambliss is sweet. Like that dude can move, he gets out of the pocket, he throws the ball well. He's going to have a tough day. He's going to struggle against these guys. I think truly
I don't know
Oklahoma
about
gives
that. I
him,
think to me, he hasn't really struggled besides maybe the fourth quarter against Georgia. I think
and he's going to. That's what I'm saying. You're going to see a totally different guy, I think, this game.
I mean, I think that's the key, and I think that's what Oklahoma fans are hoping for. But I
Yeah.
don't know when you watch Trinidad this season, and I know I've been enamored with him whenever we talk about him or Ole Miss and how good he's playing. But I just think he's a perfect match for what Lane Kiffin wants to do: spread you out, find green grass, throw it to the open receiver, use his legs to send the plays. I mean, you look at Ole Miss this year when it comes to receiving wise, and that was a big question: like who's going to step up after losing the guys they lost a year ago. And the wealth is being spread around to everyone. Harrison Wallace, 21 catches. Daquan Wright, 19 catches. Deuce Alexander, 22 catches. Stribling, 20 catches. Caden Lee, 16 catches. Like he truly facilitates and acts like a point guard
Right.
in the sense of I catch it. I see green grass. I know there's a player there that needs to replace that green grass, and I'm going to throw it there. And I think with aggressive defense that Oklahoma wants to play, if you want to bring pressure, to me, I feel like he has answers and he knows where to get the ball too. So I'm interested to see necessarily like how aggressive does Oklahoma want to be because he gets the ball out so quickly and plus he can beat you with his legs. It's gonna be an interesting cat and mouse game of ball gets out quickly, mobile quarterback.
Mhm.
Do we want to bring six guys and then have a bunch of one-on-one matchups on the back end? So I don't know.
I don't
What are
think
your
they'll
thoughts on
need to
that?
bring six guys. I mean, I think they can do it
Okay.
with base. I mean, I think that D line's that good,
I
and
agree. Like I would
you just
lean
get
more
him
on
running,
that.
right? Like I want him running for no reason is the
Yes.
kind of thing that you want to do there. If he gets his eyes down, I'm not saying he's not a good quarterback. I just think this Oklahoma defense is going to turn up and look a little bit different than anything he's seen so far.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think this is still a defense that obviously has built itself on being aggressive, but needs to play, like you said, a little bit more base, make him beat you as a quarterback. And I think they're better than they were versus Texas. Like I know there's in the back of people's minds of Oklahoma just got torched by Texas. Texas was not doing anything offensively before that. I just think that a lot of things in that game, especially the issues that they were having offensively and the turnovers, kind of trickled over into the defense playing the way they did. Flip it over to the other side. So it feels like it's good on good. Ole Miss offense, good. Oklahoma defense, good. Fascinating. Flip it to the other side. Oklahoma offense, not so good and consistent. Ole Miss defense, really bad. Defense, only one defense is worse in rush defense in the SEC, and that's Arkansas. This team is not physical at the lines of scrimmage. Obviously, Oklahoma wants to be more physical. They want to run the football. We saw more of that last week versus USC and them kind of getting things going on the run game. can they do that 2 weeks in a row is going to be the question, E-Mac.
Yeah, it really is. And they got the run game going a little bit last week against Carolina, who again not a great defense in any stretch. But are they just going to give the keys to the young freshman, Blaylock there, who looked great against those guys, had 20 rushes, averaged 5 yards a carry, has had another 100-yard game earlier this season. I know that was against Temple, but is that the key? Because you got to have balance and to be able to do that and exploit what a team is not good at, a la stopping the run for Ole Miss, that just helps everything out. And really, I need to see Mateer, like, turn it back on, baby. I need to see that Heisman, caliber guy, and it's just the injury too much to overcome. 150 yards through the air last week is that's rough to say the least.
I don't think what South Carolina was doing a lot was too high. I think they were saying, like, hey, we're going to wait for Mateer to make a mistake and we'll let you run the football and see if you're willing to commit to it. And Oklahoma did, and just didn't present him with a lot of opportunities to push the ball vertically down the field. I would hope that now, being 5 weeks post injury, if he was able to play 2 weeks ago, 2 more weeks since that first game against Texas, that he would feel more comfortable. And obviously he's not going against the Texas defense this one, he's going against Ole Miss, so should feel more comfortable and confident. I think the question becomes, if this thing somehow does turn into a shootout, or it turns into I don't think it's going to be Georgia versus Ole Miss like it was a week ago, but say Ole Miss does have success. Say that Trinidad Chambliss and these receivers and Lane Kiffin are just that good, and they're going to put 30 points on the board. Can Mateer play within himself and throw the football and not turn it over?
Right.
If Oklahoma, I think that's going to be the question mark all year, is like, if Oklahoma does get into a shootout or a point in which they can't run in, they're forced to throw the football to score points and not just rely on the defense, can we trust him to not turn the ball over?
Yeah.
And I think that's not saying he's going to do it this week against this defense, but if it was a shootout, I'd trust Chambliss more than I do Mateer in that type of ball game. And I think that's a little bit worrisome if it does happen.
Yeah, I don't think you're wrong, especially what we've seen lately. And just does he have that ability, to fling it downfield? We'll see. 4.5's the number here. I'm rocking with the Sooners. Again, I think this defense is going to cause a lot of issues. Maybe they score, maybe they turn the ball over or get turnovers a lot. I think that this defense is something to reckon with this weekend.
Yeah, I agree. I think them at home, Ole Miss going Athens to Norman, I think it's going to be a little bit too much. I think you'll see similar type of game to Georgia where they may come out swinging, but I think it may happen even earlier than the fourth quarter, where you see Ole Miss just kind of, start to wave that white flag, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah,